While Assembly is looking for a new Speaker and Senate is working get Ukrainian aid back to an expenditure bill on November 17 when existing agreement expires. Rand Paul. R-Ky.Cumuriyetist Party reduce additional financing completely. According to White House, the United States sent an estimated $100 billion taxpayer dollar to Ukraine since war began. Hungarian Foreign Minister. Tips for constant waiting for Ukrainian military aid before inspection. Paul-Better Kevin McCarthy-a. Warning that can reduce efforts of all eyes. Efforts Ukraine continue sending money to Ukraine. Referring a warning that Home Speaker would be on what they have done in next year.was held by. There is a rule of Republican conference in Assembly. If majority of Republican conference is against something or against something, Speaker cannot bring up with rule. He said. This non-written practice is known as Hastert rule that determines precedent that Speaker will not bring an invoice to ground unless majority in favor of majority. I think this is a good question for some competitors on the House. Will the conference rule prevent him from bringing him up? Because if so, as he progresses, perhaps there will be an agreement. Other GOP deputies in the upper room. At least other GOP deputies who oppose more assistance without additional supervision. Sens.Josh Hawley. RMO. Senator J.D.Vance. Rohio. John Kennedy. RLA. In addition to being a trillion debt. Paul said that the secondary reason is that Ukraine is not really a shining example of democracy. They cancelled elections. So, it is difficult to define themselves as a paragraph of democracy of a country without elections. He said. And not the only Republicans who are concerned about the ethical failures claimed by Ukraine. According to a 22-page document called Integrated Country Strategy. The biggest challenge is win war. But Ukraine is currently a unique opportunity connect fight against corruption and judicial reforms. Realize requests. Ukrainian financing is rising as a great political lightning bar in the government's closing struggle. Paul. I think an inspector in general send more help to do. There is still a healthy corruption in Ukraine. Meanwhile, the Senator Minority Leader Mitch McConnell. R-Ky.On Wednesday. After GOP's weekly lunch. Adding more help is still a great priority. I think the majority of both parties still support this. McConnell said about helping Ukraine. He continued Biden we need a direction of how they want to move forward from the management.